Well, here we are again, more videos. I know you guys love these. I love making them for you. So the next thing that we're going to do, I mentioned the other day, was to start reading a novel called The Watsons Go to Birmingham. And you're going to get a copy of that tomorrow, at least a digital copy. So I wanted to be able to explain to you the activities that you're going to do as you read the novel, and hopefully make them clear for you, and make the process go as smoothly as possible. The first thing I want to introduce is the character chart, and this is a pretty straightforward approach to you listing and developing the character traits of the characters that are developed throughout the novel. So what I have here is a list of the characters you'll be introduced to in order of introduction. So in order of appearance. And you have the first one, Kenny Watson. He's our narrator. So you're going to not necessarily hear his name, but you're going to see the story from his perspective. And then as you go down the list, you meet the rest of these characters. One important thing to understand is that these first five characters are Kenny's family. So you have his brother Byron, his sister Joetta, who goes by the name Joey, and then his mother and father. The next set of characters uphead through LJ are classmates, friends, troublemakers that Kenny and Byron and Joey deal with. And then the last two characters here are Grandma Sands and Grandma Sands' boyfriend, Mr. Robert. Grandma Sands is Willona's mother, and she is the person that they visit when they go to Birmingham. I tried to break down for you where you would meet these characters. You'll notice that next to each character is a page number. This is where the character is first introduced. It's not the only place you're going to find information about the character. You're going to develop this as you read. This is a document that, as you chapter by chapter, you may add more information to. But page 1 is where you first meet Kenny. Page 2 is where you first meet the rest of the family. Page 8 is where you meet Buphead. So you'll add more as you interact with the characters more, but so you know when to pay attention to looking for a character. These page numbers are a really good guide. And again, as you find traits about them, physical traits, personality traits, direct characterization, indirect characterization, what you hear and see the author tell you about the character, and what you infer about the character from their behaviors, from their language, what other people say about them. So this will get pretty full and start to develop as we go through it. The next document is something that we're going to track and work on as we read the entire novel. I think this novel, again, is focused on or the historical fiction set around later in the novel of the Baptist church bombings in Birmingham, Alabama. And so what I want to do is track the mood of the experience, the mood of the characters, and the mood of the story that Christopher Curtis develops. He's the author. So what I want you to do for this is pretty simple. Is for each of the 15 chapters, what I want you to do after each chapter is to come up with a descriptive word. Right, you see right here in column 2, provide a descriptive word for the mood. Again, the mood, as you see right here, is something in the novel setting, words, descriptions that helps give you a feeling or a vibe about it. So what was the vibe? What was the feeling of chapter 1? And then in the third column, provide an excerpt from the chapter that caused you to feel that vibe, or to have that vibe, to have that feeling. Quote the line. Simple as that. This is what you thought the mood was. It was upbeat. Here's why. And so what we'll want to do as we read through the entire novel is watch. Do we see a change? Do we see a mood evolving? Do we see it constant? And what starts to cause that evolution? Or what what's interesting about the fact that it might stay constant? The last thing that you're going to do is have a reaction to each chapter, or one reaction for every chapter. You saw this format in this form when you read the article on the last few days. You're going to again use this choice board with all of these options. There's again the 36 different options you have to respond to each chapter. After you're done reading each chapter, you're going to come to this form, type in your name, last name, first name. You're going to pick which chapter you're reading, and each time you come back, you pick the next chapter. You're going to tell me which choice board selection you picked, 1 through 12, and then you're going to give me your reaction. Again, these are one-sentence reactions that are based off of your questions about the chapter, your understanding about the chapter, your relationship to the chapter. But again, just that one-sentence reaction for each of these chapters. And we're going to revisit these, and I'm going to remind you to revisit these as we read through the novel. So that's it for the type of work that's going to help us guide us through this process over the next couple of weeks. And we'll have a Google Meet on Wednesday, and you have any questions about any of this, that's a good time to bring them up. Looking forward to seeing all of you. Bye.